Here's a question from Bella the Cookie. Says, great content, sir. This is where I receive my political news. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Question. Can Donald Trump run for president behind bars? You know, I get this question every time we do Q&As, and I love it because this is something that people genuinely need to know and clearly genuinely want to know. Yes, he can. If Donald Trump is thrown behind bars, he could be sentenced to life in prison. And depending on the charges, he can still not only run for president, but serve as president of the United States. The only qualifications we have for somebody being elected, running and being elected for president, we have the age requirement, we have the citizenship requirement. Got to be a natural born citizen, got to be over 35 years old. That's it. That's all you got to do. It doesn't say, hey, if you're currently sitting in a jail cell, you're not allowed to run for president. That's not in there. That's not in the rules, so he still can do it. Now, as I said, depends on what he is convicted of. Because obviously we do have amendments to the Constitution that say that anyone that participated in an insurrection or supported one materially or I guess you would call it moral support, they would be banned from holding any public office in this country at all under that amendment. But only if they get convicted in court of that specific crime. Right now, as far as we know, Donald Trump is not being charged with materially or morally supporting an insurrection against the United States. Now, we don't know what all Jack Smith has, so maybe he's going to go that route. Maybe he wants to charge Donald Trump with supporting an insurrection or causing an insurrection. That would trigger that amendment to where Trump could not run for office. But if that's not what he gets him for, if nobody charges him and convicts him for that, then yeah, Donald Trump could serve time behind bars and be president. And if they're state charges, not federal charges, he couldn't pardon himself, so he would literally be serving as president of the United States from a jail cell. And I know that seems far-fetched, and it is a little far-fetched, but it is currently not out of the realm of possibility. That's how stupid things are right now. Like, that is now a situation, that is a scenario that could happen. We could have a sitting president that instead of being at the Oval Office is having to sit in the dang mess hall with the other inmates and sign executive orders. That's where we're at as a country, folks. That's how crazy stupid things have gotten thanks to Donald Trump and the Republican Party. So yes, to answer your question, he can 100% be president from prison. And maybe that means it's time that we revisit the qualifications for somebody to be president. Maybe we ought to include a little amendment to that and say like, hey, by the way, if you're in jail, you can't do it. If you're convicted of, I don't know, murder, kidnapping, any form of assault, maybe that should also disqualify you too. Because technically, Donald Trump could go out, kill somebody. Hell, Biden could kill somebody and still serve as president of the United States. I mean, he would probably be impeached for that and removed, I imagine, if he didn't pardon himself first. But yeah, you could have a convicted murderer on death row sitting there serving as president because we never bothered to change those laws. And I think part of that is because the founding fathers never really thought we'd get to that point. They probably had way more faith in people than they should have, thinking like, there's no way they're going to elect somebody in jail, right? Well, fast forward a few hundred years, and here we are.